Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Layers of Fear. So, with any luck, we'll be done with the main game and then maybe even get a little bit of progress towards the DLC. There's, I guess, one more thing we may need for our painting. And my fear here is that what's gonna happen, let's see, can you ever even paint anymore? The question, I guess, is gonna come down to is the end of this game going to finish the painting, or is the end of this game going to just finish the story? Ideally, we wanted to do both. Heck, if there is something back here, I can't even see it, so clearly they want me to go this way. I'm still not really a believer that there's a lot of multiple choices in this game. It feels like there's a lot of false choices. There's a Ouija board. So was it possibly the case that we've been in this room so many times, that he was trying to summon his dead wife through painting? Or he was crazy and he thought that was the case? Seems like O Q W Z Y. It seems like you can do any of them. They all seem to get brighter. Okay. So, can you even paint anymore? Let's say no. So yeah, let's just leave that room, I guess. Into another room, which we've been in this room multiple times. You know what this game would really do as a cool thing is have a DLC or mode where you're just walking through the house, it's fully lit, it's fully bright, none of the craziness happens. None of the multiple paths, and so you could see what this house really looks like, because at the very beginning in the prologue we didn't get that, not really in a fair way. We saw some rooms, certainly, but those rooms were not really the rooms. We keep going back to the same place over and over again, but yeah, the prologue rooms really don't have any relation to the other rooms, and that we walk through. And I guess we've been down a hallway with pictures and the double exposures. And we can't turn on the light. So is it going to creepily follow me again? Are we getting the good ending? The brightly lit ending? Is the brightly lit ending even the good ending? Like, I see every single light lit up except for the one in the wheelchair. So does that indicate something? Like I did all the good path choices except for the wheelchair one? It's like, and the music stops as soon as we get there. See, this is just not enough falling action. You would have had to give me some reason to be in here or stay in here. And there's far too many rising action sections. Let's see. Vermin growth, cancerous housefowl stench. Oh god, the sounds. So we're continuously finding more and more of those. Like, had I been in that hallway and needed to turn off all the lights or something, that would have been something to keep me in there before I could move forward. This whole game is lacking in gameplay. And we have so many things like that. Looks like there's a blue portal on that window. And there's a knife in there. We have this. Now you hear a dog barking, which I believe is in the game. Like, generally speaking, I don't hear dogs barking outside of my house. Let's see, when I look at that window, that mirror, in this mirror, it is blue also. Interesting. Sometimes it's blue. That water still doesn't run. That water still does. And clearly the knife is not related to the water.
What is taking so long? Open this fucking door! I need to go! Open up! Hell is... Oh, God. No. No, 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 no. What have you done? No!
So maybe the wife hurt herself. See, we're still assuming that this guy is the guy with the prosthetic leg. I'm not 100% sure I believe that, but he does seem like he has a stumble of some sort. And yeah, it still feels like the cold water just doesn't run. So what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be finding something on the knife? That would be new. That's something I've certainly seen in other gameplay mechanics. Oh. Look at the bathtub. So I have to hold the trigger. This is new. And this is practically just a cutscene, I think. Yeah, I don't think I'm controlling anything here. Wanna go again? Apparently I have to. Well, this wasn't how I expected the game to end. So if we get just like a jump scare behind us of the ghost, we've seen that before. See, what would be a jump scare is if we saw a man, like a clearly new character, a new man, new monster, something we haven't even started to see. So is this a good ending? Do we suffocate ourselves? Drown ourselves? Kill ourselves? Were we the father? Were we the friend? The art critic? So apparently that was another transition to, I don't know, I thought we were in a light area before.
Finally, someone had to bear witness. I couldn't just look at my own work. Art and the artist needed an audience, a critical eye on things. I knew what I had to do. I gouged it, scooped it up like ice cream, felt like a butcher, a monster, but at least there was to come something beautiful from all this filth.
So he gouged an eye. Now clearly, if he gouged out his own eye, we would have seen that. Yeah. So it has to be somebody else's eye. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of it, I guess. So I'm hoping that there's a conclusion. Well, that happened more than what I thought it was going to. Yeah, I thought the game was going to end, so nice little twist there. I see like one shiny thing because of the way the light reflections are. They need to update this with some better reflection models and just say, look, this one shouldn't be reflecting light. I don't see anything, so what am I supposed to be interacting with? If this is the end of the game and you're just forever stuck at this chessboard, that would be incredibly annoying. See, I wonder if there's a timer here or something. Is there a light switch? There's something. So that was one chess piece. Was that all I needed? No. I've got to find all the chess pieces strewn across the room like before. So they're having us repeat the gimmick. And I assume that was probably a sound effect to indicate that we found the two needed. It's not taking control of the camera, actually. It's funny how we get that glitch, that glitch sound that kind of indicates a channel changing, when I think this is, we haven't seen any TVs or anything. There should have been a TV. This isn't a very nebulous time frame, but they talk about cassettes. Well, so we kind of know that, and we see that there's lights, indoor lighting, and it's got to be 1940s or later. There's a dead dog or rat, I believe. So it seems like what is going to happen is we're going to go into these sections, and the room is going to just expand and expand. Like, this clearly an electric motor and a light. So that's somewhat modern technology. And each of our painting sections, this is like a recap on everything we've done before. Well, I don't know. I thought I would have already triggered everything over here. Really, this whole game is just a mess of find the thing to trigger, move on, and sure, that is all games in a nutshell, but it shouldn't be so obvious. I guess perhaps because this game falls so flat on the horror element, at least for me, that I can only start to criticize it for its other failings, which, yeah, those may very well have been overlooked had I actually just been enthralled with the gameplay and the story it's telling. This game was way overhyped. Is there something here I'm supposed to be able to pick up? Because that stopped working too. Like, the music stopped playing. Am I gonna have to use the walkthrough? I think I am. Because, yeah, this is just not moving forward. And this is dull. Alright, let's look at the walkthrough. Let's see. Last time I used the walkthrough was on the previous chapter, so I just have to click skip and scroll down. We've done a lot of this. Apparently on the Ouija board there was a combination 363, 853, 354, which I believe are the 3 phone numbers, but that probably just gets you collectible, and so that doesn't matter. Okay, I think I've found what I'm missing. Like, here we're at the end of the game. This should be the close to the end. There's an item here, a pawn. And so it's this is different now. So somewhere around here, I think is probably another pawn I need to pick up. And you've just made a 3D hidden object game, and I've always wanted to see somebody do a really good job at making a 3D hidden object game. But I wasn't expecting it to be a horror game. I was expecting it to be more like the game The Witness, where things would just kind of reset after you left an area so that you could go back. Okay, there's a doorway this way. And this is just the music that we played backwards. Whole bunch of hand mirrors and general junk. So there's another coin. Yep, and that was that. I can either zoom in or walk close towards it. And I might as well walk close towards it. Yeah, this stuff just doesn't strike me as dangerous. They've failed to instill any fear as the character, as the game player here. This stuff is just new and unique and weird. And I'm probably a new and unique weird type person in the sense that I love that stuff. I love when I'm seeing something that nobody else has ever seen before, and I want to run up and look at it as close as possible, not cower in fear. Interesting, it clipped through the stairs. And shower curtain, we haven't seen the shower curtain closed before. So it's making some major emphasis on certain rooms more than others. And up here is another coin. Well, not coin, but checker point. I guess it's a good thing that this was established before as a thing that needed to be done. Because it's certainly playing a big role now. We're just getting whispering and noise. I don't think I've been in here. Or maybe I have. And it's just changed. Who are you even playing with? Interesting. Split personalities. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter one way or another whether the painter has split personalities. We kind of already know he's crazy. Yeah, this game needs to move around the camera a lot more. It's... And we're kind of going in random order back through the main rooms. So were these the rooms in which murders were committed? Or the areas? Possibly. And the house is just getting bigger and bigger. This kitchen in particular, just totally full of... Hey, now I have two things. That's the first. Like, yeah, the kitchen was full of drawers. So throughout the course of this game I can't open this. Oh, it worked the other way. I flipped it upward and it opened. No painting there, but they don't seem to matter. There's one right on the scale. There's like a doll or a doll's arms under this, whatever it is. Oh, so I put the weight on it. And I don't know what putting the weight on it did, per se. But I guess maybe I needed the weight to get the coin, the checker piece. And this is way more checker pieces than anybody would actually use to play checkers. It's like you have this never-ending, all continuing of checkers. This is new. And this is potentially, that is what the painting looked like to everybody else of the baby face. I'm not controlling this and it's spinning me towards this. Yeah, it was spinning me for apparently no reason. And this house is just falling apart. And how is this just not like a point-and-click adventure game, though? A bad point-and-click adventure game where it's find the little pixel object, it's figure out the moon logic, that makes no sense for anybody else. Well, I think we're gonna be done. How many collectibles did we collect? I assume each one of these black pages is supposed to have something in them. If it isn't, then I collected double than what I think I collected. Either way, there's clearly a lot I missed. I think there's probably at least one or two, if not 3 or 4 pieces that are supposed to be here and maybe one there. So I've probably missed out a lot on that. And in this final version of our workroom with all this blackness, which probably might be an indicator that I got the bad ending, but maybe not. Let's see. Says, I used to hate you. I think even now I still might. I know you must feel lost, alone, and hopeless. You probably deserve it. The one precious thing you ever truly desired, you will never finish it. And see, I feel like if you'd gotten the good ending, you probably would have gotten a different story there. You'll never finish it. Well, I think I'm gonna finish it. And so at least we accomplished something here. And it's a painting.
Yes, that's
of
it.
His wife.
It's beautiful.
Using an eyeball.
Perfect. Just like I always imagined. What is this? I don't understand. No. Stop it. Please. I was so close. This time, I almost had it. Ah!
So he takes the painting. He goes through the door. He literally just clipped through the door. And he just tosses it. So I'm guessing this is the bad ending. And I have control. Again. We have the daughter's room, pretty much empty. We have a painting room full of portraits of her that don't look bad. Paintings all messed up on the walls. We have this room is a mess. So they kind of are doing what I suggested and would have wanted to see, but by letting you walk around the house. But I don't think you're gonna see all of it. Let's see. Have we read this letter? I don't think we have. My dearest wife, I know that past few months have been devastating. I know that I should have been more supportive, more caring, more selfless. I still can't believe some of the things I said to you. I guess it was never meant to be a great husband or father. I thought I could be a great artist, but that dream has ended as well. In its absence, I will do the best to treat you all with love and compassion you desire. You are truly my life, my muse. You will never read this letter. I am sorry. So I've got the key to the office. One assumes that this is just going to be the wrap-up for the game. Let's see. Okay, here's your credits. Interesting way to do credits, and reading from the right to the left. Executive producer, executive producer, executive producer, team leader, team leader. Let's see. I would have preferred just regular font and then a regular credit scene at some point than this. This is cool and all, and if the text was scrolling up and you were showing me these pictures, it'd be easier. But using the handwritten writing, it's hard to read the names, and that's kind of sucks. These are actually probably just photos that have been run through Photoshop. Yeah, almost certainly. Wow. Look at that level designer. He's just covered in tattoos while everybody else is dressed up in period clothing. That's ridiculous. Stands out. More people worked on this than I thought. Way more. Which is a bad statement, certainly, because I thought I'd been given the impression that this was basically a two-man team, and seeing all of the people who had a hand in all of this, it feels like this was too lazy of a game for all this. And see, now once you're at the special thanks, those names are just tiny, and there's no right clicking on the stick to zoom in on that. So those are your credits. I kind of feel like all of the rooms will be open. Nope, that room is never open. So maybe that was the good ending room. So we can go back into the paint shop and maybe play again. So this photographer, painter, probably in hell. reliving things over and over again, kind of like a Hellraiser ending. Nothing really terrible with that as far as a bad ending. Ideally, maybe you'd want a good ending, but I don't think you would have really earned or deserved much of a good ending in this game because there's just kind of nothing you can do. I saw something. Probably this. But I doubt that there's any collectibles. Here's potentially a bunch of smell destroying things, so I guess you may have bricked up some people or some bodies in there. We're not getting a direct story as far as where this, how things end, but clearly, dear sir, this is a reminder that your payment is overdue as of January 26th this year. Enclosed the statement account to reference, therefore I must inform you that your order has been suspended. Please arrange the payment within the next 7 days, or if you cannot make full payment at a time, please contact to make payment arrangement that is mutually acceptable. If you fail to comply, we will be forced to take the court case. Regards, Ronald Wilkins. Payment for what? I don't know. Alcohol abuse. In the end, you know you can't leave the house where we started. Let's see. If we go down to the basement, it's going to be slower. There's something in your way, but apparently you can just walk around it. But I think at this point, you can't reach anything more. Fair enough. So what's in here? Probably just a new painting. The things, like I can't pick up that paper there. Like our collectibles are here, but I didn't see the collectible book. So unless that's moved. Yeah. Nothing here. And this is like these words written on over each other and over each other again. And now the pencils are back. And now these are all locked. Now the alcohol's back. And now everything is back. And see, it feels like you could play the game a second time through, and they're trying to encourage you to do that. I don't know why you would want to do it, though. Even if you had a great experience with this. Says, I know you must feel alone, hopeless. You probably deserve it. Even for you, there's still a way to bring it all back. The one precious thing you ever truly desired. Finish it. So the story keeps changing, and we pull it, and it's blank, and that's it. So even though they had the in-game credits, they are now going to do the right thing, and I feel like that was very much important to do, is bring that in. So I would say a lot of why this game doesn't seem like it works is gonna fall on the creative art director's lead. The idea in general of, hey, let's put some gameplay mechanics in here and have some actual more interaction, again falls on directors leadership to say we need those things, but it also falls on programmers, particularly in smaller companies, to say, hey, all we're doing here is placing items and putting things inside of cabinets, or putting cabinets that 95% of the time had nothing in them in the first place. Apparently the European Union might have funded some of this. Weird. It's just not much of a game, and it gets too dangerously close to asset flips and extremely low effort games that come out on Steam all the time. Often games like this suffer from what I call dark screenshot syndrome. This game is 100% in that category. Any random screenshot of any part of this game is going to be incredibly dark, and if you struggled through watching this series and you couldn't see anything, or you had to turn your TV or your monitor brightness up to the max to see anything, I apologize, but that's what the game really looked like for me too. Arguably, this game doesn't get benefited much by having collectibles. Collectibles are the lazy man's way of adding gameplay a lot of times. I would have preferred there to be just a quicker experience, and this barely was a 5-hour game, and I think it probably would have benefited from being half of that, 2.5 hours long max. When they did throw in puzzles, they didn't matter, or they were so difficult that I had to use a walkthrough, and I've often, when I did come up to the game part of this game, I was frustrated. As for the horror, as an armchair amateur horror movie critic who is a fan of horror movies, there was from the beginning a lack of characterization of the characters. It says don't look back. Alright, well, I'm physically looking back now because I don't listen to video games. Maybe that was the thing that I did wrong, is that I needed to not have looked back at the characters. So what does finish it do? What does that load? Lost, you deserve it. Finish it. Get it right this time. So this is a straight up play the game, new game plus mode. Yeah, I think that they needed to inherently have somebody with a better understanding of timing and horror writing and sound effects and characterization and introducing an enemy. What was the enemy in this game? Was it the wife? When was she introduced? She wasn't introduced in the prologue. She wasn't really the ghost wife apparition wasn't introduced in, I think, in the first chapter. Maybe not the second chapter. So we may have been in the third or fourth chapter before we even saw her. Theoretically, I would have written it so that at the end of chapter 1, that ghost jump scare hit you and you woke up back in the painting room. I would have had you wake up back in the painting room every time, and then you do the painting section. So since we're on the walkthrough, and I know we're going about 14 minutes long here, let's just look at the walkthrough and see what the endings are, because I'm not going to play this game multiple times for endings because the game's not worth it. May you look on YouTube to see the endings. It says the game contains 3 alternate endings. They depend on your progression in the game. One is the self-portrait. In order to get this ending, you must collect all the whispered words that are related to the passion of the character while avoiding items related to his wife. Avoid all mirrors, chairs, and most of all her ghosts that appear in episodes 4 and 5. So yeah, her ghost didn't even appear until 4 and 5. You should also avoid death. You should follow the rats by collecting their drawings. Whisper words are, I imagine, items that you need to collect. So you would basically have to follow a walkthrough step by step, which would make this game even less scary and less entertaining. Let's see. The next alternate ending is a portrait of a wife and child. Depending on your wants, you can see the portrait of both characters at the end of the game. You must simply focus on all items that are related to them. Collect whispered words related to them and avoid the rest. You should also risk facing ghosts and not avoid contacts with your wife. And then the portrait of the wife ending is simply complete the game while ignoring collectibles available in the game. You must only die once by her hands. So theoretically, then I was given the portrait of the wife, or I wasn't given any ending at all. Like, it seems like I was given the portrait of the wife ending, but I may actually not have been given anything. Let's see, let me scroll down to the end of the walkthrough. Yeah, the pictures, the paintings look the same until the very end. So yeah, there's different endings, and that's kind of it. Not really a story worth happening. I love the point and click adventure game The Cat Lady, and then they made a sort of prequel that was a remake of a game, a slight remake of a game that had already been made called Lorelei. And in Lorelei, you got either a good ending if you collected all the good points by doing the right things, and you got the bad ending if you did all the bad things. But there were like 40 plus points, and if you had missed one of the good points, you got the average ending. If you had missed one of the bad points, you missed the bad ending. It feels like that is very much the case in this game too, where 99.9% of the people on their first playthrough, unless they're using a walkthrough, are going to have the ending that I had, which is the experience that they wanted me to have. But here's how you flip that around. In the time that we played this level, this game, which has probably been about 5 hours, we should have finished and gotten to that end at like an hour and a half. And then the game should have told everybody, look, we want you to play this the right way. So instead of that, instead of ending the game and showing credits and then letting some people play a second time, they needed to say, it's only been an hour and a half, everybody's got to play it a second time. And have more voice acting, have more direction, have the main character do that. And theoretically, you would have wanted to gotten the bad wife painting the first time, and then gotten the father painting the second time, the artist's self-portrait the second time, and then that would have failed, and he said, I've forgotten them, I've forgotten something. And then the third time should be an entire family portrait of the self-portrait, the wife, and the child. In fact, you might even go for a fourth time and have a child painting separate. Speaking of the child, we have the Inheritance DLC. I guess we'll do that. Maybe with a little bit more time, maybe with some self-reflection. The developers would have thought, you know what, this actually didn't work that well. I still feel like Gone Home, by enthralling you and telling you a story and just having a lot of audio and a lot of characterization happening, because that game was really just all characterization and atmosphere, and this game had no atmosphere at all to lean on. So yeah, maybe they thought that maybe with some more time, Inheritance will be better. I guess we'll try it. I own it. I might as well play it once. But this is definitely one of those games where I don't think I'd ever come back. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game or a gift card. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.